The contract arrived without ceremony. No escort, no official seal, no explanation beyond a single line stamped across the top. Civil union authorization, cross-species diplomatic protocol. I almost deleted it. At the time, I was stationed on the outer colony of Virex 3, a forgotten rock orbiting a dying star, where the only thing more scarce than resources was opportunity. Humans didn't get many chances out there, so when something official came through, you paid attention. "Looks like you got picked," Joran said, leaning over my shoulder. "Picked for what?" I muttered, scrolling through the document. His grin widened. "Marriage!" I stopped. "Not funny." "It's not a joke," he said. "That's a union contract, interspecies, government-backed." I kept reading. The terms were simple. Too simple. A formal marriage between a human and a designated member of an allied alien species. Purpose: strengthen diplomatic ties. Duration: indefinite. Compensation: relocation, rank elevation, lifetime resource access. I leaned back in my chair. "This is insane." Joran shrugged. "It's also your ticket off this rock." He wasn't wrong. I looked at the last line. Candidate pre-selected. Acceptance required within 12 hours. No meeting, no introduction, no choice beyond yes or no. "Why me?" I asked. "Because you're expendable," Joran said bluntly. "And compatible." "Compatible with what?" He shrugged again. "Guess you'll find out." 12 hours later, I signed it. Not because I believed in it, not because I wanted it, but because staying on Virex 3 meant fading into nothing, and I wasn't ready for that. The transport arrived at dawn. No ceremony, no farewell. Just a silent departure from everything I knew. The journey took 3 days. 3 long, quiet days where I had nothing to do but think about what I'd agreed to. An alien, a stranger, a marriage built on politics. I told myself it didn't matter, that it was just a contract, a role, something I could survive. I was wrong. The capital world of the Illyrians was nothing like I expected. It wasn't cold, or metallic, or alien in the way humans imagined. It was beautiful. Living architecture curved into the sky, glowing softly with bioluminescent patterns. Structures grew instead of being built, shaped from organic materials that pulsed faintly, like they were breathing. "This way," a guide said, motioning for me to follow. I did, trying not to stare. "You will meet your partner shortly," they added. Partner, not wife. That should have comforted me. It didn't. They brought me into a circular chamber, open ceiling, soft light filtering down from above. And at the center, she stood. Alone. My first thought was confusion. My second was understanding. This was why they hadn't let me meet her beforehand. She wasn't like the others I'd seen. The Illyrians were known for their symmetry, their elegance, their near-perfect forms. She was different. Her features were uneven. Her skin, normally smooth and luminous, was marked with irregular patterns, darker patches breaking the uniform glow. One of her arms was slightly thinner than the other. Not damaged, just not perfect. An outcast. I felt something twist in my chest. Not disgust, not pity. Recognition. Because I knew what it felt like to be chosen last. "This is Ceres," the guide said. She didn't look at me, didn't speak, just stood there, still. "This union has been approved by both governing bodies," the guide continued. "You will formalize the bond now." "Now?" I asked. "Yes." Of course. No time to think, no time to hesitate. I stepped forward, Saris finally lifted her gaze. Her eyes met mine, and for a moment, everything else faded, because there was something in them. Not fear, not hope. Resignation. Like she had already accepted how this would go. "I'm Kale," I said quietly. She blinked, then after a long pause, "Saris." Her voice was soft, almost fragile. The ceremony itself was simple, a shared mark, a binding acknowledgement. No vows, no promises, just agreement. And just like that, we were married. The first few days were quiet. We were given private quarters, larger than anything I'd ever had, comfortable, peaceful, and completely silent. Saris barely spoke. She moved carefully, avoided eye contact, kept her distance, like she was waiting for something, or bracing for it. I tried to talk to her, small things. "Do you eat the same food as us?" "Yes." "Do you like it?" A pause. "It is acceptable." That was the longest answer I got. On the fourth day, I found her outside, standing near one of the living structures, watching the horizon. "You don't have to stay inside," I said. "I know." "Then why do you?" She hesitated, then said, "It is easier." "Easier than what?" "Being seen." That hit harder than I expected. "People stare," she added. "I noticed," I said. She looked at me. "You do not?" I shrugged. "I've been stared at before." "That is not the same." "No," I admitted, "but it's close enough." She studied me for a moment, then asked, "Why did you agree to this?" "Opportunity," I said honestly. She nodded. "As expected." "And you?" A longer pause this time. "Obligation." Of course. We were both here for reasons that had nothing to do with each other. That night, everything changed. I woke to a sound, soft, like something shifting. I sat up. The room was dim, quiet, except for that sound coming from the other side, from Saris. She was standing near the center of the room, her back to me, her body different. The irregular patterns on her skin were glowing, brighter than before, moving, not randomly, deliberately, like they were forming something. I stood slowly. "Saris?" She froze, then turned, and for the first time, I saw her clearly, not as an outcast, not as something broken, but as something extraordinary. The asymmetry wasn't a flaw, it was structure. The patterns weren't damage, they were channels. Energy flowed through them in intricate paths, shifting and changing with every breath she took. "What is this?" I asked. Her expression tightened. "You were not meant to see this." "See what?" "This." She gestured to herself. "To what I truly am." I took a step closer, not afraid, not anymore. "You're not broken," I said. She stared at me. "What?" "You're not flawed," I repeated. "You're different." "That is the same thing." "No," I said firmly. "It's not." She shook her head. "You do not understand." "Then help me." She hesitated. Then slowly, she raised her hand, the air around it shimmered, and suddenly, the room changed. Not physically, but perceptually. I could see more. Layers. Energy fields woven into the structure of everything. The walls, the floor, her. "You perceive only the surface," she said. "My kind. We were meant to see deeper." "Then why don't the others?" "They lost it." Her voice dropped. "Over time, they chose symmetry, stability, perfection." "And you?" "I did not." It clicked. You didn't lose it, I said. No. You kept it. Yes. I exhaled slowly. And they call you an outcast. For that? She looked away. They call me unstable. I laughed. I couldn't help it. That surprised her. What is amusing? You are, I said. Her eyes narrowed slightly. I fail to see. You're not the problem, I interrupted. They are. Silence. Then something shifted in her expression, in the way she looked at me, like, for the first time, she wasn't expecting rejection. You are unusual, she said. I've been told. Over the following days, everything changed. She showed me more, taught me how to see, how to feel the patterns beneath reality, not fully, not like she could, but enough to understand. She wasn't broken. She was evolved, and they feared her for it. The truth came out soon after. The council summoned us, not for celebration, for judgment. She is unstable, one of them said. She deviates from our established form. She poses a risk. I stepped forward. No, I said. She doesn't. They ignored me. She must be contained. That word, it snapped something inside me. No, I repeated. You don't get to do that. You have no authority here, one of them replied. I have a voice, I shot back, and I'm using it. They turned to Ceres. You have hidden your condition, they said. I have concealed nothing, she replied calmly. You exist in violation of our evolution. Silence. Then, she did something unexpected. She stepped forward, raised her hand, and revealed everything. The full extent of what she was, the energy, the patterns, the truth. The room filled with light, not blinding, beautiful, alive. And for the first time, they saw. Not an outcast, not a flaw, but something greater, something they had forgotten. The silence that followed was different. Not judgment, not rejection, recognition. She is, one of them began, but they couldn't finish, because they didn't have the words. I stepped beside her. She's the future, I said, and for once, they didn't argue. Later, back in our quarters, Sarah stood quietly. You defended me, she said. Of course I did. Why? I smiled slightly. Because you're my wife. She blinked. Then, very faintly, she smiled too. I believed I was unwanted, she said. You were misunderstood, I replied. She looked at me. And you? I thought about that, about VREX 3, about the contract, about everything that had led me here. I think, I said slowly, I just found where I belong. And for the first time, neither of us felt like outcasts anymore. Because sometimes, the truth isn't about what you are or how others see you. Sometimes. It's about finding the one person who sees you clearly and choosing to stay, even when the rest of the world doesn't understand. Because in the end, we weren't bound by a contract or obligation or politics. We were bound by something far simpler, something real, understanding. And that changed everything.